Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that all Gareth Southgate rumours are nonsense. Because Steve Holland, who was obviously Gareth Southgate's assistant coach, is now Michael Carrick's assistant coach, some fans have been worrying that we're going to bring in Southgate. I have said a million times on this channel that Manchester United will not bring in Southgate. I said it last year before we appointed Amorim, and I will say it again now. If we were to appoint Southgate, we would have appointed him a while ago, and Romano has confirmed that. Manchester United have changed their mind and now plan to do business in January. Or is this a PR spin? Manchester United now considering doing business in January, looking at left wingers, looking at midfielders, seeing what can be done. Or is this a nonsense PR spin? We're going to talk about João Gomez, £40 million. Is it worth doing it in January as a third midfield option? Or do you just want to wait until the summer? Let me know your thoughts on that down below. We're going to talk about Bruno. Rumours that Bruno is fed up of Ineos and wants to leave. He won't go anywhere in January, despite other rumours about that. Zirkzee, Roma still pushing. And, of course, the Glazers. We're going to talk about the Glazers. They're coming to visit, first time in a while. They're coming to have a meeting with Ratcliffe. And look, get the Glazers out. Hashtag United is broken. This fan base needs to unite against the Glazers. Right now, this fan base is having a civil war. The people that wanted Amorim in versus the people that wanted Amorim out, they're going at each other online. You know, there's this sort of mindset in the fan base that you can't be Ineos out and Amorim out at the same time. People can want the manager out, but also know that Ineos and the Glazers are a bigger issue and want them out. And the fans are attacking each other online. The fans need to stop attacking each other online, and the fans need to come together and attack the Glazers. We need to get those parasites out the club, because it doesn't matter what manager comes in, who comes in next, they are going to struggle unless we have change at the top of the club. Let's dive into the video. Nothing is happening between Manchester United and Gareth Southgate right now. While he has a strong relationship with Ineos and is available, the club currently have other priorities. Boom. Every time we're linked to Southgate, it's media scaremongering us, using us for clicks. If we wanted Southgate, we've had 3 opportunities to appoint him, and we've not done so. So I don't think we want Southgate. He's there, he's available, he wants the job. We know that. We've not gone to him once. We did not go for him in summer 2024 when we're looking at Tuchel and De Zerbi and planned to sack Ten Hag, then panicked and kept Ten Hag. We did not go to him after we sacked Ten Hag, and we are not going to him because we sacked Amorim, because we could have just brought him in last week instead of Carrick. 3 opportunities. We don't want Southgate. Dan Ashworth never wanted Southgate. When Ineos sacked Dan Ashworth, because they look like such idiots, because they waited 7 months to bring him in, paid $5 million to bring him in, to sack him after 5 months, they made up a story that he wanted Southgate to try and justify and look better for sacking him. He never wanted Southgate. I'm just going to say that now. Anyway, let's dive into the January window. Man United are exploring a move to sign a new left winger in this month's transfer window. Michael Carrick and the club's recruitment team, led by Jason Wilcox, are scouring the market for suitable loan options. So apparently Manchester United are now looking at the left wing market loan. First of all, are we going to do anything in January? Well, we've got actually the window closes in 17 days. We've got just over 2 weeks to see if Manchester United do anything in January. I think if we do anything in January, it will be a loan. It's giving loan energy. It's giving, we don't want to spend any money, which is fine. There's no point spending money on the wrong player. I mean, I would be looking at Ruben Neves for 15 million, James Garner for 15 million, João Gomez is available. United are now looking at a left winger. Could this be PR spin? Maybe. However, they're saying left winger on loan. What left wing are we going to get on loan? Daniel Marlin's gone to Roma, and he's not exactly a left winger. There's not many people out there that I think are going to be available. The left wing market is very thin. Our best left wingers on loan at Barcelona. Look, if I'm looking at left wingers, I would go all out for Iliman Ndiaye, who's in the AFCON final. I think he's phenomenal. Can play left wing, can play right wing. I think he's an absolute baller. But look, there's talk of Tottenham wanting to loan out Tell. The loan market at left wing is poor. But if you can get a good left wing, I like Yandy and Monde's been linked. I wouldn't pay that kind of money for him. You do have a look at it. But what I think is interesting is João Gomez. Atletico Madrid are interested in signing João Gomez this winter, as Mateo Morata called. Wolves have braced for an approach. There is an acceptance that Gomez will leave Wolves if relegated, but the club are relaxed about keeping the Brazilian until the summer unless a strong offer arrives. Gomez's professionalism has been noted within Wolves this season, and he's not the type of character to agitate a move. Understand Wolves value Gomez in excess of 40 million. I think João Gomez is probably a 30 to 35 million pound player. But if someone said you spend 40 million on João Gomez, he plays a really good role in the team and you get Champions League football versus not signing anyone and missing out on Champions League football, I'm saying spend 35, 40 million on João Gomez. Now, you might say, Alice, Man United are not mentioned in this. No. But Man United have looked at João Gomez. They like João Gomez. They have a long-standing interest in João Gomez, who is available for 40 million in January. It's something that Man United may want to consider. Look, the ideal transfers are Wharton, Anderson, Baleba. If we can get two of those three, brilliant. But we need three midfielders. Bruno is probably going to leave. Agate will leave, and Casemiro will leave. So we need three midfielders at least. And you've got to argue our midfield depth is thin as it is now. We probably need four midfielders if Bruno leaves. If Bruno Fernandes, Agate, and Casemiro leave, I look at the cover as João Gomez, Wharton, Anderson, and then a fourth midfielder that's maybe a bit more attacking minded because Mason Mount can't stay fit. There's actually a rumour that Cole Palmer has a 63 million release clause, but I do highly doubt that is true. But look, someone's like, what's the point of going for João Gomez? They're waiting for Anderson in the summer. Why can't you go João Gomez in January and get Anderson in the summer? That doesn't stop Manchester City doing stuff like that. Like, I just think for me, if you can get a midfielder like João Gomez or Ruben Neves, I think it's better than doing nothing. Like, the one thing you could argue is we've barely got any more games this season. Let's have a look. We have 17 more games all season. 17 games all season. And they're all like one game a week. So I guess you could argue, well, Casemiro only plays one game a week is quite good. If Casemiro gets injured, we are effed. We are effed because we drop off big time about Casemiro. So maybe we're just looking at it and saying, you know what, with one game a week, there's just no point. We'll just play Casemiro, Meno, Bruno, put Agate in Mountain where need be. Maybe United see that as okay. Maybe that's why they're looking more at left wingers. But I think they need to look at the January window and say, look, there's an opportunity to get Champions League football, but Michael Carrick has just come in the door. He plays a very different way to Ruben Amorim. These are none of Michael Carrick's players. They should show Michael Carrick some support. Anyway, let's continue on. Man United captain Bruno Fernandes is not planning to seek a move away from the club this summer. So Bruno Fernandes has been very frustrated with Ineos, and there's been reports coming out that he wants to leave. There's reports coming out that Bayern are going to go and trigger Bruno's release clause, which is £56 million. I will cry when Bruno leaves. I think Bruno needs to retire at this club, and I also think if you're the new manager coming in the summer without Bruno Fernandes, that's your job is 10 times harder than any other manager we've had in the last 5 years because Bruno is just a different level of player. Like, I don't want him to leave the club. He's not going anywhere in January. I think he goes in the summer. He's fed up with Ineos. And can you blame him? No. He deserves to be winning elite trophies. He deserves to be in Ballon d'Or conversations, but he won't be because he's spent his prime at this mess. AS Roma are not giving up on the signing of Zirkzee. They continue dialogue with the player's entourage and Manchester United. The decision is now depend on Zirkzee and Carrick. I mean, look, I think Sesko's going to be clearly number one, but Carrick likes his number 9 to drop deeper and the number 10 to run ahead. So I think he can get some use out of Zirkzee. I get why Zirkzee wants to go. But Roma have just signed Donyell Marlin, so maybe they are less interested in Zirkzee. There's a feeling Zirkzee's not going to go anywhere, but then it's also been said, wait until the AFCON players return, because Mbeumo could be used as a 9, Cunha could be used as a second 9. We'll have to see what happens. And last but not least, let's talk about these rats. Jim Ratcliffe is flying to Manchester to meet with Joel and Avram Glazer at United's latest executive committee meeting. They are set for face-to-face talks at Carrington to discuss the latest developments at the club after Amorim's dismissal and Carrick's appointment as interim head coach. They're flying in to have some chats. Can you just leave? Can you have, like, for me, if you want to fly in, say, we're crap at our job, we're rubbish owners, we've milked this club for too long, we're going to put the club up for sale and let's a billionaire buy it that wants to make Man United great again. Can that be what you talk about? Because you're going, oh, we're bringing this guy in and that guy in. We're never going to be great until you sort yourselves out. You are the consistent problem. Ruben Amorim was a wrong appointment. Ruben Amorim wasn't very good at his job. But Ruben Amorim could have had much more success had he been backed better by you, had he been given a midfielder. You know, if you look at every manager at Man United, they've failed. So while Ruben Amorim failed, every manager before him has failed. So maybe you need to look at the bigger picture, which is the people above the managers. Maybe you need to change up. What will happen is they'll throw Jason Wilcox under the bus and Omar Barada under the bus, bring in new people for that role to distract the fans. And look, Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada haven't been good enough if they get sacked. Fair play. But they sat Woodward to distract the fans when the fans got a game called off. What I'm saying is they will throw Wilcox and Barada under the bus, sack them, distract the fans, stay here. If Wilcox and Barada go good, whatever, they haven't been good enough. But I want Jim gone, and I want, most importantly, Avram and Joel gone. I don't want them chopping and changing. I want them gone. So if they could agree to leave, that would be great. That would be great. Thank you for watching. Bye.